You all may not have heard about this, but in San Francisco, California, and in all of California, well, I'm not going to say all, a majority of California, in New York, in Washington, D.C., in Arizona, in Virginia, in Texas, and in almost every state where there is a large population of homeless people. The homeless people have all vanished. Not some of them, every single homeless person. We've gotten in contact with a few people who have told us that the family members of these homeless people have tried contacting them through phone, through email, no response. When they do call them through the phone, on the phone, either it just rings and rings, sometimes it disconnects, sometimes it goes straight to voicemail. There is a man on TikTok, and he's actively trying to find, I think, one or a few homeless people that he knows, and he has not been able to find them. And people surrounding him in the comment section are telling him about this man named David Pilates. If you don't know who he is, look him up. We in the New World Resistance know of him anyway. And he had wrote a book about missing 411, people being missing in national parks. And people were thinking, oh, this is the reason why the missing people, the homeless people are missing. Maybe they've wandered off into some kind of national park, or maybe it's some kind of alien theory. Well, let us tell you exactly what's going on. Every homeless person that is missing is dead. So, I can't put it, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and try to fluffy it up for anyone. I'm going to be as blunt as possible. They're dead. You can call all you want to. You will never see them again. They are all dead. Sorry to say, but they're dead. You will not have access to their bodies because their bodies have been burned. And if their bodies have been burned, for some of them, their organs have been taken out. Some of them in the process of them dying, person that went missing. If their bodies were burned, before their bodies were burned, the organs were removed. Certain body parts that do well on the black market, they were removed, and they were unalived in a way, whereas adrenochrome could be extracted from them before death. Then their bodies were burned. For those whose bodies were not burned, I'm telling you, you all may not believe this out here because you wanna, you see the commercials and the jingles and it sounds good, it looks good, you go by the restaurants and it smells good, but I'm telling you, you go to McDonald's, you go to Wendy's, you go to a lot of these chicken places, Popeyes, KFC, because it's not Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore, it's KFC. You go Roy Rogers, Checkers, any of these burger places and these chicken places, and you think that you're eating real meat, and what you are eating is human flesh. The human flesh of the people that the elite kill. They grind it up in a meat grinder and they ship them out to stores. The meat that you get in the grocery stores is not real meat. You're eating human meat. And you may not want to believe it, but that's exactly what's happening. You are eating human flesh. And they don't have to tell you that you're eating human flesh, but you are. This is why there is a song, and you can find it on YouTube. You can even find it on TikTok. It says, the title of that song is All the Food is Poison. And they have this black guy, and he has this choir of white little kids on the choir, and he's singing the song, all the food is poison, all the food is poison. And it is, because when you're eating human flesh, you're eating poison. And so for the bodies of homeless people who were not burned, they were put into a grinder, and they were grinded up, chopped up first. Bodies were chopped up, and then it was grinded up, and they ship it off to stores. Believe it or not, we're telling you this is exactly what goes down. You will never hear from these homeless people again. And the killing of the homeless people were done at detention centers above ground and detention centers below ground. And so that's what's happening to the homeless. This is why they have all disappeared. In San Francisco, they have some kind of Chinese punk who runs the country over there, and he came to San Francisco to meet with, I think it was Newsom or whoever the hell he met with. And when this Chinese government leader came to San Francisco, people said, oh, all the streets were cleared. I mean, in a matter of hours or days of these homeless people. I mean, not a sight of homelessness anywhere. What happened? All those homeless people, they swapped them people up. And they did it in the middle of the night when they knew that not a lot of people would be around on the streets to see it. They swapped them homeless people up and they took them to the detention centers, and they were all unalived. And this is why somebody on TikTok said, how could they have gotten them out off the streets just like that, without nobody seeing? Because they do it. When they do these things, they do it in the middle of the night. They never do it in the daytime. They never do it at 9 to 10, 11 o'clock at night. They do it at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when they know there are not a lot of people on the streets. And they got them up overnight. And it wasn't just one person who did it. It was like a whole 20, 30, 40, 50 people that came on the streets and got these people. They could have gassed them to have them to collapse, to go unconscious before they got them up. But they are all gone. And so far, the main places where this is happening at, again, is New York, California, Texas, Arizona, Washington, D.C., and Virginia. But after a while, it's going to be every single place on this earth. If you are homeless and you are caught on the street, they are going to nab you up. They are going to take you to a detention center. You will be unalived. They're not going to give you any resources. You're going to be unalived. Just saying this so people can understand, because there's questions on TikTok. What happened to the homeless? What happened? This is what happened to the homeless. All those who are looking for your homeless best friends, they are dead. They are dead. I'm being blunt. You will never see them again. You can go to the government. One white gentleman on TikTok said, I tried to contact the social services and they wouldn't tell. They're not going to tell you anything about it. They are behind it. The government is behind it. So you can call the social services. You can put out lawsuits. You can go ahead and resurrect Johnny Cochran from the dead and try to get him to represent you if you want to. But I'm telling you, it's not going to go anywhere. And Billy R.L. brings up a good point. During the Texas hurricane they had several years back, and there was a man that they caught on camera. It was on news. They got him on camera. The newsman came over to interview him about the flooding, because after the hurricane was a massive flooding. I don't know what happened in Dallas or Austin or what have you, but it was in Texas. And the man had said, he was sitting on the street with his dog, and he said, I tried to go into, and he named the shelter he tried to go into. I tried to go into Blake Blaine shelter, but I had to get out of there because the people at the shelter, they were caught killing everybody. And the news reporter, he just cut away. Okay, well, thank you. And he walked away. And that man, I bet no doubt today, that man is probably unalived. They have unalived him for telling what he saw. But that man was telling the truth. All those people who went for help in Texas after the hurricane hit and the flooding came, all them people in the detention centers, guarantee every last one of the majority of them, the ones who were not able to escape, they're all unalive. They're not alive today. And so that's, to make a long story short, that's what happened to the homeless people. No, they are not missing. They are dead. Okay, they're dead. Sorry. I'm sorry to say, you will not have any body to bury. They are dead. Your family members, your brothers, your sisters, they're dead. And this is why we try to tell people, if you can, I don't care what you have to do, except for prostitution, don't go that far, but no matter what you have to do, try as hard as you can to keep from being homeless, because nowadays, if you become homeless, there's no more, I can go sleep in the park, or I can go sleep on a bench corner. If they catch you sleeping on the street, they're going to kidnap you and you are going to be unalived. And the reason why they're doing this And before I go why they're doing this, this is all facts. And if they save anyone that's in your presence, if you have any children that you're homeless with, they'll save the children because they can brainwash the children into being their soldiers. But you, the adult, you will be unalive. And the reason why they're doing this is because when they do bring forth this great reset, which will include the the digital infrastructure system, when they bring that forth, they don't want any vagabonds on the street. They want it to look like a beautiful, I don't know what the word is, a futuristic world where everybody is happy under the control of the government. And if you refuse to comply with being a part of the digital infrastructure, no, you don't get a chance to be homeless. You will just cease to exist in the world. This is what we meant last time when we told you, if you refuse to go along with the digital infrastructure, you will cease to exist. This is what they were talking about when they said either you be a part of the digital infrastructure. Bill Gates said it. The article we told you about in our last video, where they said it will be mandatory to have a digital ID. If you refuse to get the digital ID, you will cease to function in society. This is what they mean by cease to function. If you refuse the digital ID, you don't get the choice of, okay, well, I'd rather be homeless. You're not going to get that choice. Either you accept the digital ID or you don't. And if you don't, and you are caught on the streets trying to sleep even in the alleyways, they will come and get you, and they will take you to a detention center where you will cease to function. That's exactly what they meant by that. So, to make a long story short, people, if you are struggling financially, please do whatever you can to keep from being homeless. If it's no more than buying a car that doesn't run and pushing that car on a Walmart parking lot and sleeping in that car, do whatever you can to keep from being homeless, sleeping on the streets, because now what they're doing, anyone they catch sleeping on the streets, whether it be in a park, whether it be in an alley, whether it be at a bus stop, even if you're at a bus stop and you're dozing off, I sit up and just doze off, that'd be fine. If they catch you, you will be taken to a detention center where you will be unalived. So that's what's going on. And it's sad. These homeless people, they needed help, they needed resources, and they were probably told if they weren't taken by force off the street, they were probably lured off the street. Oh, come to the shelter. We're going to give you food. We're going to give you opportunities to be able to get your resume together, to get jobs. They were told this. And I'm talking about the homeless people who are in their right mind now, knowing the ones who are in their right mind, oh my God, this is an opportunity for me to get myself together to become better. And they took it. And once they got in that detention center and saw that they were not allowed to leave, it's too late. So that's what's going on with the homeless people. And this is what we mean when we say they are going to bring this forth earlier than 2028. We told you 2028 or 2020 or 2030 is the dates. Either one of those dates are the dates for completion, but it looks like they are trying to even get this completed even before 2028 with the homeless, with what they're doing in New York, with the bill that they passed. So with that being said, leave your thoughts below. What do you think about this? This is the New World Resistance. Thank you all for listening. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Love yourselves and those around you.